According to RCDB, Zonga means coil or loop in Swahili, but after cross-checking this with Google Translate, apparently Zonga means save in Swahili. The fact that this coaster translates to save is quite ironic, because Six Flags did quite the opposite to this coaster. The history of Zonga began on May 17th, 1986, at a fairground in Germany as it opened as Thriller. For 11 years it traveled around fair circuits in Germany and made a stop for 1 year at the Park Groneland in Stockholm, Sweden. Finally, the ride was sold to Six Flags Astroworld and took under the new name Texas Tornado. Side note that Six Flags Astroworld operated from 1968 and closed in 2005. During the coaster's run at Six Flags Astroworld, it was actually themed to the Tasmanian Devil, and its official name was Taz's Texas Tornado. Since Zonga, or its original name Thriller, was built to be a fair coaster to be disassembled and reassembled to travel from fair to fair, it was very easy for Six Flags to relocate it. So they relocated it to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, or as it was known then, Six Flags Marine World. Texas Tornado was standing but not operating from 2001 to 2002. Zonga opened at Six Flags Marine World on April 25th, 2003 and operated until 2004. The ride consisted of a booster wheel lift hill, with a right turn in the middle of it, which was very bizarre for a coaster. It's bizarre for a coaster nowadays, that is, because Schwarzkopf built booster wheel lift hills with turns in them. A ride that I would compare Zonga to a lot is Olympia Looping, which is another traveling coaster and is considered one of the best, if not the best, traveling coasters of all time. Also features a right-hand turn during its lift hill. This Zonga, just as a whole, shares many similarities to Olympia Looping. So after riders traverse that strange booster lift hill, they will go under a small pre-drop before going through that right-hand sweeping turn. Riders seem to experience some decent lateral forces because this drop is relatively snappy. Then, with an exceptional amount of speed, the train goes through two janky loops, one yellow loop and then a green loop. These loops seem to be pretty intense for the speed that they had coming off of that first drop. After these two loops, arguably one of the weirdest parts of the ride is a slanted mid-course brake run. So riders just it's banked, but there's no turn, so you're just on your side while you go through this mid-course brake run with catwalks on either side of you. And that would be very awkward to evacuate due to a block holdup. And there were 3 moments of this just slanted straight track with catwalks. It's very bizarre. After that first weird mid-course brake run, you go into a left-hand swooping turn, then into a twisty section where you lose a little bit of speed. You're kind of crawling, but then you gain most of that speed back up through another vertical loop that is misshapen. And then you go through some turns into another slanted mid-course brake run, and then you do a left-hand swooping turn again into the final vertical loop of the ride, which is very tiny and also misshapen once again. And you go into some turns and then into a third weirdly slanted mid-course brake run again. I don't see the purpose of all these mid-course brake runs, honestly. But you go into some final turns and then into the final brake run, which is not slanted. So that is the ride experience. It's quite a short ride, but that is also due to its pacing. It does have some decent pacing. Now, I've never ridden Zonga myself, but I have ridden a very similar coaster called Colossus the Fire Dragon at Lagoon, and it features a lot more circular loops, so I'm not sure if I can compare the two, but from my experience on Colossus the Fire Dragon, Schwarzkopf coasters are very intense and almost to the point where it's semi-uncomfortable, so I can see riders being kind of uncomfortable in Zonga, especially some of those janky sections like those tilted mid-course brake runs. It just seems like this coaster was not very well received with the public. Zonga closed at Discovery Kingdom in 2004 and was disassembled and sent to another park. You can see the name of the park that Zonga was sent to on screen. I'm just too afraid to pronounce it. The ride operated under the name of Tsunami, and it operated all the way up until 2014, so this gave us the highest quality footage of this ride that I could find on the internet, which shows the ride to be running very sluggishly, but although admittedly giving some good airtime, but specifically through after the first tilted mid-course brake run, the ride seems to lose a lot of speed compared to the POVs that I was able to find at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Specifically at this point, it seems like if that train had less weight on it, it could potentially roll back, which is kind of saddening, and I wish that it was running quicker, but it did seem this was the only coaster that ever operated at this park, and it was removed, and this park no longer has any coasters. Something else that I noticed from this high quality footage is that the mid-course brake run leading up to the final loop is a lot shorter than the loop. So if there were to be a block stoppage, how would it be able to traverse that loop? It's just something I noticed from the footage. The plot of land at Discovery Kingdom where Zonga once stood was replaced by Pandemonium, a Mauer spinning coaster that I did get to experience, and I consider Zonga the first ever victim to the cursed plot of land at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. I'll talk about Pandemonium at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom's history in the next episode, which is going to be the third in the series of the cursed plot of land. This plot of land's curse has still not been broken to this day, as evidence as Six Flags Discovery Kingdom's newest statue, Harley Quinn Crazy Coaster. I hope to see you watch our next history video where I will be taking a look at Pandemonium, also known as Tony Hawk's Big Spin, and yes, also known as the Joker. And you'll have to watch the next episode to find out why. We got a lot more videos coming to the channel, including a Knott's Berry Farm vlog and a Disneyland vlog, so get ready for those to drop. As you can see right now, you're seeing some of the footage I got from Knott's Berry Farm, so I hope to see you watching those videos, and I hope you check out our other history videos if you like this one on Harley Quinn Crazy Coaster and Flash Vertical Velocity. As always, you can visit the link in the description to see all the credits to all the videos that we used, links to all the videos that we used in this video for footage.